Morning, this is Minister Peaceful Poet. I have an important message, so you might want to pay attention. I had this dream yesterday, and the reason I say I had this dream yesterday is because I work nights, and so I sleep during the day. And I had this dream. I couldn't, I'm sure like everybody else, they get up and then they got to run to work, so you really don't have any time. But I've been waiting to get off work to share this, and what it was is, in this dream, it was explained to me that everybody seeks the truth. That's what was told to me. Everybody seeks the truth. Everybody. And we're supposed to, if you seek, you'll find, right? Jesus said that. So everybody's supposed to know the truth, and we're supposed to live in this wonderful world because of the truth, right? Unfortunately, what happened is the enemy came and gave us a lie, or lied to us. And so the world isn't so perfect as it should have been. So what's going to happen is the enemy is going to be destroyed, and the truth will come out. That was the end of that conversation. And this was the end of my dream. And it's like, man, I gotta share this with everybody. And I was going to explain quite some things, but then I decided, nope, I'm just going to give it to you just like it was given to me. You do with it as you will. It made me feel all fuzzy inside and good and everything, so I hope it does the same for you. And I figure I need to share this with everyone because the world's getting pretty crazy, crazier every day. And I know a lot of us are losing hope. And so this is hope. And I believe it's going to happen just like it was told to me. I really do believe it's going to happen. I've always believed it was going to happen, but it was reassuring to have been told this in my dream. And I hope that it's also reassuring for you. And so there were lots of things I was going to explain and talk about, but I decided, nope, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to share it with you. You do with it as you will. Love and peace. Bye. Morning. This is Minister Peaceful Poet. I just recently uploaded a video to TikTok, and I don't think this one will fit. I'm going to try to explain some things. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, but I will make a comment on my video on TikTok to point to this one. First of all, I want to start out by saying that not everything I say is the truth, okay? What I tell you is my best understanding of things from what little research I have done and my own intuition. And intuition is a very powerful thing. Don't discount that, okay? And I'm going to tell you this, and I don't know if you're going to believe it or not, but I'm going to tell it to you. When I was very little, before I was in kindergarten, I was psychic. And I think I know where that came from, but I'm not real certain. So I'm not going to actually say that right now. I'm just going to tell you I was psychic when I was very little. And what happened is my mother would be watching game shows on TV and stuff, and I knew the answers. The answers would just come to me. And I would say to myself, no, that can't be right. And I would guess something else, and, well, my guess would be wrong, but my initial intuition was correct. And this would happen over and over and over again. The same thing if the phone rang. I would know who was calling. And I would say, no, I can't possibly know that. It must be somebody else. And I always do this. And I think because I kept doing this all the time, I kept doubting my own intuition that was giving me the truth, that it was taken from me. So by the time I reached kindergarten, it was gone. I wasn't psychic anymore. But so now I think back on that, and anytime intuition comes to me, I trust it. I believe it. Because I know you have to. And in one of my videos, I made two crazy videos. One was called Born Again, and I can't remember what the other one was now off the top of my head. They're pretty crazy. But I had to explain that the world isn't run by a group of people who sit at a table and make decisions. I told you that it actually comes from a computer. And this wasn't based on any research at all. This completely came out of my intuition. Well, it turned out that my intuition was correct. This comes from Aladdin, a computer program, an AI program that had been created and has become extremely powerful. It's the last I heard, it was worth $21 trillion. And it probably right now, I'm guessing, probably maybe $24, $25 trillion. It's growing real quick. It's one of the most powerful things in the world. And it's not even a human being. It's just a computer program, AI called Aladdin. You can research it. You'll find some information on it, but it's kind of limited on purpose because it's becoming more powerful. So anyway, so that's just explaining to you about intuition. Trust your intuition. Believe me, trust your intuition. Learn to trust your intuition. Learn to find your intuition. And that doesn't mean we don't research things, though. Of course we research things. But I work for a living, unfortunately, so I don't really have the time to do a lot of research. But I've done a little bit of research, and I do research, and again, I've learned to trust my intuition. So what I share with you comes from those two things. That being said, let me explain to you what is going on here in the world as best as I can. There's a thing called the prime objective. If you've watched Star Trek, you've heard of this. You know what it is, the prime objective. And there is such a thing as the prime objective. It does really exist. And so that being said, aliens observe us, but they're not supposed to mess with us. They're supposed to leave us alone. They're not supposed to mess with it. It goes against the prime objective. And they've been doing this for as long as we've been around. We've been around on this earth for about 200,000 years, and they've been doing this for about 200,000 years. We are a very important race of human beings. We're very important. And we've gone through upgrades through time, and they've assisted with these upgrades. There were different groups of aliens who worked with us. The first group of aliens were our creators, and they created us to be slave labor. And this is why we take orders, and we do. I worked for a chief once who explained to me that people take orders. You just have to tell them what to do. Because I didn't want to stay in the Navy, because I didn't want to become a chief, because I didn't want to be someone who gave orders and stuff like that. But he explained it to me. He says, people will do as you're told. You just have to just tell them what to do. And as I've gone through life, I've learned that this is true. People do as they're told. That's what we do. And there was a video about monkeys and young kids where they did this experiment, which actually proved it. And it was very unique. I've shared it a couple times. You can look it up. They teach these monkeys how to get candy out of this combination box, and they teach kids to do the same thing. And the monkeys and the kids, they both learn it, and it's pretty neat, And then they take away the obstructions so that you could just reach in and get the candy without going through this combination, right? Well, turns out that the kids, they still go through the combination, even though they don't have to. They can just go in and get the candy without having to do all that. But they still do. They go through the combination. Why? Because this is what they were taught. This is what they were told. So this is what they do. See? The monkeys, however, on the other hand, they don't even bother with all that. They just go in and get the candy. And this kind of surprised them. The experimenters, that people are doing this experiment, this kind of surprised them. And this is so why I'm saying we take orders. We do as we're told. We follow instructions. And we were created this way because we were created for slave labor. And we were slave labor for these aliens. And these these aliens brought weapons to this earth that seemed like atomic weapons. They really did seem like atomic weapons. I mean, the way it's described, and I can't remember the scriptures that this was described in, and I wish I could remember, but I can't. I'm really bad with names. But the way it's described is described a lot like an atomic weapon. I mean, so what happens is we finally rebel. We rebel against them. And in our rebellion, we fired off these weapons to destroy them. And I mean, it just about wiped out the whole earth. There were very few of us left. I mean, the way it's described in these scriptures, it sounds just like an atomic weapon. It really does. It just destroys swaths of land and life and everything. Just the destruction was just unbelievable. But we also destroyed them as well. And then there was a second group of aliens who came. Now, I'm telling you this, I know I give you the prime objective. Well, not all the aliens followed the prime objective, okay? The first group, like I said, they created us, and they wasn't supposed to, but they came here, they created us and used us as slave labor. Now, the second group comes along, and actually it was just one person, and his name is Jehovah. Yes, that's right, Jehovah. He's not a god. He was an alien. And he was horrible. He was horrible. You see, the way it worked is there were different aliens who ruled different parts of the world and different groups of people. So I understand there were about 7. There might have been 12. I don't know. But there was just a handful. And Jehovah was one of them. And Jehovah got a little bit crazy. And he got it in his head that he was God. I mean, he did. He went a little bit crazy, and he got it in his head that he was God. And he ruled over us. And in the Bible, this is where, in the Bible, the people of Israel are ordered to go to this country and just kill everything. Livestock, children, women. Don't leave anything alive. Just destroy everything. And they were ordered to do this, I think, 3 different times. And this God, Jehovah, who wasn't really a god, but actually an alien, who thought he was a god, and the Gnostics talk about this. The Gnostics describe him in great detail, and I've read all the Gnostic scriptures, so I know about this. He thought he was a god. He did not know, he did not recognize the one true God. Now, the aliens believe in God, okay? Let me put that out there. The aliens believe in God, just like we do. But they have a different name for the God. They call this God Source. That's the Source, the creator of all things, or the source of all creation. That's what they call him, Source. So, but this God, Jehovah, went a little bit crazy and stopped believing in God and started believing he himself was God and started ruling over. And see, what the plan was, is what he was sending the Israelites to different countries that were ruled by different aliens and just wiping them out is what he was doing. And this continued on until Jesus came. Okay? So Jesus, and I don't completely understand this, but Jesus was put to death by the law, and that made the law unlawful. And this destroyed any power that Jehovah had over the people. And I don't understand exactly how that worked, but that's what happened. So Jesus was sent by the Galactic Federation. The Galactic Federation, they've been watching over us for 200,000 of years, and they have a prime objective not to get involved with us. But it just got to be too much for them, and they didn't. They created Jesus. Okay, let me just put it that way. I ain't gonna go into the mechanics of how they did it, because I really don't know how they did it. So we're just gonna skip that part. but they created Jesus. Jesus was born of Mary, yes. That's as far as I'm going to go with that, okay? But but that's what Jesus was all about. Now, another set of aliens came along. And ever since this set of aliens been messing with us. And again, the Prime Directive says that they ain't supposed to, but they have been. And this is where a lot of other evil things have gone on our Earth. World War I, World War II, Depression, the banks, all these horrible things. Slaves, wars, a lot of the awful things that we have witnessed in our world has come to us because of them. As I explained in that short little video, the enemy came and gave us a lie, but the enemy will be destroyed, and the truth will come out. So, what happened with the Prime Objective is the Prime Objective has been now updated. It's been changed. The Prime Objective now is they can interfere with our lives now, but we have to ask them. We have to ask them for help. And this is why there is a push for us to know that there are aliens, so that we will know that there are aliens, and so that we can and will hopefully ask for their help, because they can't help us unless we ask for their help. That's the only way. And there are those of us who know of them and have been asking for their help. And I had this dream. I myself had posted this picture in my window as the Galactic Federation had instructed, a picture of me inside a sun, posted on your window, facing outward where it can be seen. I don't know why they told us to do this, but they did, and I did. And maybe that's why I had that dream. I don't know. Not real good art at all. It's just a stick figure inside of a round circle. I used a highlighter for the. It's not art, trust me, but I did it. And so you might want to try that as well. You know, a picture of yourself within a sun, post it. And what that represents is that you are a part of the light, or you wish to be a part of the light. That's what that means. The sun is the light, and you're in the middle of it. And that way they will recognize who you are, I guess. I don't know. They didn't explain why to do that. They just said to do that, so I did it. And that was that. But you might see things are getting worse, and if they're helping us out, why are things getting worse? Well, here's what's going on. The sun goes through 11-year cycles, and it goes from acting up real powerful and causing a lot of havoc on our Earth to kind of calming down and then becoming real powerful again. Every 11 years it goes through this cycle. Well, right now it's in that cycle where it's acting up. It's being really awful. And for some reason, they can't be with us when the sun's acting like that. I don't know why. But they did put this out in one of their videos that they couldn't. And here's another strange thing. A lot of this information I got from a lot of the videos that were shared on YouTube. YouTube has taken a lot of those videos down. And I'm like, why? I mean, think about it. Why? I mean, there are videos on YouTube about a lot of things that may or may not be true, but why would they take those down? That's kind of odd. And they did. They took a lot of those videos down. They talked about med beds and creating food out of air and free energy and lots of things. And that they were going to come and live with us, you know, and all this kind of stuff. YouTube took all those videos down. So you got to wonder. You got to wonder. I mean, that makes it more believable when they do stuff like that, right? You got to believe it. If they don't want you to hear it, it must be true. So for some reason, while the sun is acting up like it is now, they can't be a part of us. They can't interfere. Now, when they do get settled onto the earth, like they promised to, well, I think it'll be a little bit different then. They'll take on form, and they'll be a part of this dimension. They'll be helpmates, I guess. I don't know how it's going to work, but to be honest with you. But I guess at that time, the sun will not interfere with them. But as it is right now, the sun interferes with whatever it is, however it is they contact us or be with us or whatever. The sun interferes with that. So they got to stay the distance. And so it seems like while they are doing that, the evil in this world that was set up is running free and rapid. It's like rabid, free and rabid, I meant to say. And so it seems kind of hopeless, and it seems like things are getting worse, and all these great things are supposed to happen. Well, how are all these great things going to happen if it seems like it keeps getting worse? And that's why. And I think that this is going to go on until about 2026, and the sun's going to settle down some around then, and then they will be able to be with us more. And I won't say interfere. They'll help us because we will ask them for help. And we have to know. We have to know. It's a Galactic Federation. And these evil aliens who have been messing with us, they've been supposedly taken out. There was a war that went on that we didn't witness. Some of us were a part of it, though. You'll hear some talk about that. Some of us were a part of it. But they've supposedly been taken out. But the things that they enacted on the earth and put in place on the earth, like maybe Aladdin, is still in control and hasn't been completely taken out yet. But that will happen. That will be done. But they just can't do it right now. I guess because of the sun. And I wish I could explain to you why. And even if I suppose I could explain to you why, it'd be probably so boring science stuff, a bunch of boring science stuff. So anyway, so that's the deal. That's where we're at right now. Around 2026, we're going to hear a lot more about the Galactic Federation. And we may even see an alien or two amongst us. I mean, not just on TV. I mean, actually right here. Your next door neighbor. You never know. I don't know how much will go on in 2026, but I did make a video called 2020. Yeah, that was it. That's a crazy video. I made two crazy videos. 2028 and Born Again. Two awesome videos that might sound pretty crazy and out there, but you might want to check them out. But I figure by 2028, they're going to really be among us and really have put a lot of things in use. Travel without vehicles, medveds that will keep us young, food that can be created out of thin air, just a lot of awesome stuff. A lot of awesome stuff. And like I was told in that dream, we will have, the lie will be, the enemy will be destroyed and the truth will come out and the lies will end. And I think, I was going to say in that earlier video, to be open-minded, but I don't think you have to be open-minded. I think what's going to happen is we're going to wake up and we're going to look around and we're going to say, hey man, how could I have been so blind? I mean, it's all going to be so clear to us. And we're going to be like, how was I so stupid? And I think that's how it's going to go down. So I don't think I have to say, be open-minded, because I think you will be. I think your mind will be just opened wide open. Yep. And unfortunately, well, the vaccines might have been bad. The med beds will heal us from that. And all the other poisons and stuff that's in our water and our food and the GMOs and all that kind of stuff. There will be healing. There will be great healing. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. All right, well, believe it or not, love and peace. Bye.